Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion, where I've got another Marvel Champions gameplay video for you today. If you like what you saw, please check out the description for other YouTube creators making content for Marvel Champions. Now let's take a quick look at the deck before I go down to the table and do villain setup. So let's look at the deck really quickly. You may have already seen this deck. I asked MC Deck Discussions to do a deck discussion about this deck because I really like the way he breaks down a deck and talks about his experiences when he's talking about a deck. So if you follow him, and you should, he has some really good videos. He's linked down in the description, and his video talking about this deck will be linked down in the comments as well. Basically, every ally here is a target to be Voltroned, and most of my attachments are Voltroning, if we can use that as a verb, Voltroning upgrades. Enraged gives +2 attack, but they take +1 consequential. I'll talk about why that is not terrible here in a bit. Inspired is +1/+1. Reinforced Suit is +2 hit points. And Sidekick is here for Captain Marvel. If I get it on her, great. If I don't, it's not that big a deal because she is not the primary Voltron target. Any of these can be Voltroned, but Captain Marvel is the only one that can take Sidekick. In addition to that, Boot Camp gives all of my allies +1 attack, and Mighty Avengers gives them all +1 thwart and +1 attack because they are all Avengers. Of course, that's going to load slower than I like, but they are all Avengers, take my word for it. Now, I'm not running First Aid in this deck because that is a basic card. I am running Ready for Action. It is a leadership card, which, of course, is an aspect card, which Spider-Woman really likes. So just playing that to give one of my allies a tough also increases Spider-Woman's stats for the round. So that's why I'm using Ready for Action instead of First Aid to heal these guys. Give them a tough, and then I don't care that they're taking +1 consequential damage from attack because it's still just going to ping their tough off. Another reason I don't care too much about Enraged +1 consequential damage is Iron Lad. Iron Lad can attack and then exhaust any of my other Avengers to add their attack to him. So Hulk, for example, is not someone you typically see anyone Voltron for a good reason. After he attacks, you discard the top card of your deck, and if it has a mental, you have to discard Hulk. If it is a wild, you also have to discard Hulk. So we are not going to allow that to happen because we're not going to attack with Hulk. We'll use him for defense because he does have a high health, but Iron Lad can attack and then exhaust Hulk to add Hulk's attack to his own. So, fully kitted out, Hulk can attack for 8. He's attacking for 3 naturally, 4 with Inspired, 6 with Enraged, and 7 with Boot Camp, 8 with Mighty Avengers. So he can attack for 8. Iron Lad, even if only Boot Camp and Mighty Avengers are out, is attacking for 3. So he attacks for 3 and then exhausts Hulk to add his 8. So he can attack for 8 or more sometimes, depending on if you have some Voltron stuff on him as well. Ronan, of course, is the really fun one because just giving him any upgrade gives him +1 thwart, +1 attack. And Thor can attack multiple villains engaged with the player of your choice. This is really fun, and I actually had that happen in a game a couple nights ago. One of my teammates had 3 enraged symbiotes on him, and Thor knocked all 3 of them out at once. Tigra is fun because if you attack with her, she's going to take her consequential damage at the very end. So the first time she attacks, whether she defeats a minion or not, this heal 1 damage isn't going to heal anything because she doesn't have any damage yet. So what I would do with her is attack with her, she takes the consequential damage, and then give her a tough with Ready for Action. That way, the next time she attacks, she's going to defeat a minion. she will heal 1, and then her consequential damage just knocks off her tough. So if you continually put a tough on her, or just every other, defeat of a minion, put a tough on her, she's going to heal up to max. Two Gun Kid can attack 2 enemies at once, and you want to attack a minion with no other guard minions in play so that you can attack that minion and the villain at the same time. Call for Backup is 99% of the time going to go grab Captain Marvel. I haven't played a game yet where I pulled another ally with Call for Backup, so I should probably say 100% of the time, but most of the time, a very generous most of the time, that is going to pull Captain Marvel into play. Just my basic doubles and power of aggression, because I have a lot more 2 or higher costed red cards than blue cards. Want to talk quickly about War Room, Counter Attack, and Lie in Wait. They do what they are there to do. They're not the greatest cards, and I will admit that even making the second version of this deck, I was just using them to meet my requirement of making my aspects balanced. After some more play, though, and I just don't want to make a version 3, because like I say here, I rarely post a version 2. I don't really want to post a version 3. But for version 3, I have removed War Room, Counterattack, and Lie in Wait, and replaced them with Marked. Marked is going to give those minions overkill, so that when I make that big attack, I'm having some damage go through to the villain as well. So those 3 cards replaced with Marked. All right, that is the deck. Now, instead of going to the table, I'm going to go to DragnCards, because I have a little mini tutorial I want to do with DragnCards in this video as well. Before I go, I'm going to copy my URL, Control-C, and then we'll go to DragnCards. All right, with that URL copied, let's go to DragnCards. I like to make a private room. That's just me. I think I just don't like people to, drop in just to look at my game. I'm not sure why I do that, but I think that's why I do that. I'm going to Control-L. I'm not going to Control-L. I'm going to Control-U to bring up this dialog box so I can paste that deck in. Now, here comes the mini tutorial part. I'm going to show something with preferences that I don't think I showed off in any of my other tutorials. If I had, oh well, here it is again. I'm going to hold Shift and hit Tab, and we're going to look at the user interface preferences. Now, you can set this program to do the things you want every time in this default column. For me, though, I default to standard and required and recommended sets. For this tutorial, I'm going to uncheck automatically load recommended sets and update it. Because what I want today is Klaw. I'm going to Control-L and type in Klaw and click the Klaw scenario. That puts most of what I need into play. Now, it does do something that I don't want in this particular case. It went ahead and discarded cards, although it looks like it must have been the top card, to get a minion. I'm going to put that minion back on top and manually shuffle this because this deck isn't complete. I also need to load a mod set. Now, you could click mod set and go find the one you want, but if you know the name of it, just type it in, Trickster Magic. Now, that went from 23 to 34. But we do have one more thing to do. I'm going to click this out of play box to bring out this out of play area. Hit the eyeball to look at the deck and then sort it by ally. The ally versions of the minions you get in Trickster Magic just get shuffled into the deck. So we need to pull those out. You also need to do this in Batroc if you're playing him because you get those captives. I think you need to do it in Taskmaster, but those might be in the shared area. I can't remember. I'm going to shuffle the deck again and close that out of play. Now I'm going to manually discard from the top until I get a minion. I'm just going to do that with X. If you hold tab, this is a great reminder of what all of the hotkeys do. So you can see here, X is discard. So I'm just going to hover over the deck and discard until I get a minion. And I get a big one right away. Steady, victory 1, she cannot, or she gains overkill. And then when defeated, I go get the Titania ally. So that's the minion I'm starting with. Let's go ahead and flip this. And then I'm going to Shift D to draw up to hand size. This is actually a really good start. Do I also need to do finesse? 2 for finesse. Finesse for inconspicuous. Yeah, this will be a great start. I'm not going to mulligan anything, so gameplay can start right away. Now I'm going to use her action. Look at the top card of any deck. I just like to look at that to see what it's going to be. It has a boost of 1, so he's going to be attacking for 0, plus 1, plus another boost. That information is just nice to have. Let's flip up to Spider-Woman. Let me flip this back over too. I always forget to do that. I'm going to use Genius to play Finesse, and then Finesse to play Inconspicuous. Inconspicuous, remove a total of 3 threat from amongst schemes in play. 1, 2, 3. That is gone, and I have played a Justice card. Then I'm going to do 1, 2 for Venom Blast. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Now, that is a different aspect card, so that gets me up to a total of 3 thwart, 3 attack, 3 defense. I attack for 3 and knock out Titania. Now, she does go to victory, so let's pull up the victory display and move her over there. Now, she says the player who defeated this minion puts the set aside Titania into play under their control. So let's go to out of play and get Titania. She doesn't count as doesn't count against my ally limit. She gets overkill and piercing. Let's just attack for 3 with her, and she takes 2 consequential damage. Now I want to use her up because I have, and I may end up blocking with her. I have things that require me to have all Avengers. So I don't want these defiant allies turning those things off. So while I do like this Trickster Magic set, and I think it's cool with Klaw because there is a Whirlwind in here, and he has a Whirlwind in Masters of Evil, it does interfere with this deck a little bit. Let's Shift D to draw, and ready. Ooh, there's a Pheromones. It's going to be fun. 1 goes on the main. He is attacking. And let's see, how does that read? If each of my allies has Avenger, increase my limit by 1. So that would turn that off. Yeah, I may just let her block. So the attack is 0. I know it's going to be 1. Only 1. She only takes 1 damage. That's fine. 1 encounter card is a guard with tough. Now, those fall off at the end of the round. Now, I have some... Maybe I will. I will be able to play Thor and Pheromones. So, I'm going to attack to knock off that tough. Do Finesse and 2 for Thor. That is an aggression card. That gets me a counter. And we're just going to have Thor attack to defeat this guard. Knocks off his tough. And then we'll do 1, 2 for Pheromones to both stun and confuse Klaw. That's it. Let's draw and ready. That ready for action is going to be good. I can put that back on Thor if I want. 1 goes on. He cannot attack. And we get 1 encounter card, which is Illegal Arms. That does come in with an additional threat. Okay, this falls off. Timing here. Oh no, I do have inconspicuous. So I might go ahead and use up Titania. Let's do this. She attacks for 3 and gets knocked out. Finesse plays inconspicuous. We're going to remove 1, 2, 3 that way. It gets me a counter, and then I can thwart for 2 to clear that. Let's do 2 for Hulk. Gets me another counter, and I'm going to do 1 for Ready for Action to give Thor a tough, and that gives me another counter. Before I give Thor that tough, he's going to thwart 1 here, and then I give him that tough. I don't need to flip down right now because Thor can block on his tough, or probably Hulk can take the damage too. Let's draw and ready, and I kind of just want to take the damage myself to use this contaminant immunity. 3 reinforced suits is funny. I can do 1. Maybe I end up giving Hulk a tough 2. Let's just see what happens. 1 goes on the main. He attacks and I'm just going to take it. Although I could defend for 4. It's 0, 1, 2. I'll take that 2. That's fine. 1 encounter card is an advance, but he cannot advance because he's confused. That sucks. I did want to flip down to get some value there. Let's do 1 and 1 of those reinforced suits for contaminant immunity, which heals me to max and gives me a tough. Those counters fell off, and then I get 1 for playing protection. Let's do 1 for reinforced suit on Hulk. That gives him 7 hit points. And then, sorry for that sigh, everybody. I know that annoys some people. Let's just thwart that and flip down. And the reason I want to do that, I want to look at that card. That is a mental. If I attack with Hulk right now, he's going to have to be discarded, so I don't want to attack with him. Maybe, though, I do attack with Thor, and that just knocks off his tough. Let's draw on ready and hope that he doesn't scheme out. 1 goes on. He schemes for 2. And if it damages my hero, exhaust him. That doesn't happen. Only 2 goes on. 1 encounter card. Klaw heals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. All right, let's use her ability again to look at this card. It is a wild, so every bad thing would happen. But look at this. We have a call for backup and a sidekick coming. That is good to know. That 1 fell off. I don't need to recover. Let's flip up. Finesse for call for backup, which gives me a counter. Trying to decide right now. Like, I would need to play Enraged, and I could do that. Let's use Inspired to put an Enraged on Hulk. That gets me up to 3. And I'm going to thwart 3 here. This goes to victory, and I will pull an ally. I'm going to pull Captain Marvel. Of course, that means that sidekick is not going to be on top anymore because I have to shuffle. Didn't think of that. Thwart 2 and draw a card with her ability. And I really should have kept that inspired instead of using that to play enraged. But we'll do 1, 2 for pheromones. And that will stun and confuse. I've already played blue, so I can't play another. I don't really want to knock Thor out either. Let's just draw and ready. Iron Lad is getting spicy now all of a sudden because Hulk's attack is 3, 4, 5. One goes on. Klaw cannot attack, and I get 1 encounter card, which is a gang up. He is going to attack. I have a tough, so I don't really care about that. Actually, those counters should be there. He is attacking for 0, 1, 2, only 2, and that just hits my tough. All right. Wish I knew what that top card was. Let's do 1. I mean, I'd like to keep Ronan as well. 2 for Iron Lad, who I cannot play at the moment. So let's back it up. What I could do is attack with Thor. He gets knocked out, and now I can play Iron Lad. Then I also need to consider, because Iron Lad can crush through Klaw here, and then I should still be able to, I will still be able to clear Immortal Klaw when it comes out. So before I do that, just to keep Captain Marvel around a little bit longer, I'm going to play Ready for Action. I'm going to hold on to Tigra, use Finesse for that, to give her a tough, which also gives me a counter. Then Iron Lad attacks for 1 and adds Hulk's 5. So that knocks out Klaw. He comes back, and we find the Immortal Klaw. Now, I'm not going to bother adding this 10 threat here, since I'm just going to knock it off immediately anyway. She thwarts for 2. Just knocks off her tough. I thwart for 2 and clear that. I do get to draw a card. And there's my second Finesse. All right, let's draw and ready. Venom Blast is going to be good. That Finesse is going to be good. This would be really good too, though. 1, 2 for Finesse. 1, 2. Draw a card with Captain Marvel to play that. I think that'll be fine. 2 goes on the main. He is attacking. Who's going to get in the way here? I'm at full health. I'm just going to take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I take 4. 1 encounter card is a weapons runner who surges into an assault. I'm just going to take it again. He's attacking for 1, 2, 3. And he comes in. So I took 3. All right, and that's not terrible. Can I get, let's see, 5? This counter comes off. These aren't going to be a problem. Let's do 1 and 2 for my second Finesse. 1 and 2 for Venom Blast, which is going to deal 5 here. It gets me 1 counter. She's going to knock one of these out. Captain Marvel knocks the other one out. Draws me a card. There's a Mighty Avengers. Can't play it right now. I don't really want to stay up one more turn. Let's attack with Iron Lad and exhaust Hulk to add 5. So total of 6. He takes 1 more consequential. I'm going to flip down because I want to use this to play the apartment. Let's look at the top 5. Get an aspect card. I want to get that because I don't want it to be shuffled. Also, that's going to be really good timing as long as I don't have to discard a card at random. Draw and ready. One goes on the main. He cannot scheme, and Zax. Discard the top 4 of my deck for each printed energy taken indirect. I'm not going to discard those directly. I'm going to put them up here. Sadly, though, that is going to give me another encounter card. But I only had to do 3, and none of those were energy. I do get another encounter card, which is discard 1 random card from your hand. Is this going to be Sidekick? Shift X, and I did not lose Sidekick. Okay. That would have been hilarious, but whatever. See, that's a hero resource. So I need to use one of these for Sidekick on Captain Marvel. Then when I recover 3, she heals 2, and we're good. So look at the top 5. Don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. Yeah, let's get a Venom Blast because this guy does not have guard. Let's flip up. See, that falls off. Finesse. Oh, we could do a couple different things here. Let's use the double for contaminant immunity. Heals me 3 and it gives me a tough. I should have flipped there. I don't know what happened there. And I want a tough, not a stun. And then finesse for Venom Blast. Deals 5 here. 2 will do it, and I might as well use Hulk because it'll be fun, right? I don't need to use Hulk. I can use Iron Lad. Before I do that, though, I'm going to thwart for 2 with Captain Marvel because she'll draw me a card. I'm going to use that to put an Inspired on Hulk. Now his attack is 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know what he attacks for. I don't know what the ally version of him attacks for. We're going to go an extra turn anyway. Let's attack for 1 and add his 6. He goes to victory. And we are going to go get the Zax version. And he only attacks for 1. After he enters play, search the top 5 for a card with a printed energy. Add it to your hand. That's a big whiff. Iron Lad is gone, and let's have him thwart that off. Now, I could have ended the game there, but I thought it was fun to do that. 1 goes on, he attacks, and Zax blocks. 1, 2, 3. He takes 3 and goes to victory. Oh, get over there. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Then I get 1 encounter card, which is Shadow of the Past. It's just so funny. And I don't even need to deal with any of these because I only need to deal 2 damage to Klaw. This falls off. But I really don't like threat or side schemes. So let's, that would actually have 3. Hold up. Because that came in with 1 extra. I could put an Inspired on her. Let's use this for Inspired. She thwarts for 3. That goes away. Draws me a card. I get a +1. Let's give her a Reinforced Suit 2. So now she has 7 hit points. Let's also give her an Enraged to give me an extra attack. And yeah, let's just attack Klaw for 2 and end this. Actually, that attack was 3. So that is Voltron Rich Environment. Once you start getting these minions built up, they do a lot of work for you. Like right now, Captain Marvel is attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5, and has 7 hit points. So she's going to draw you a lot of cards once you get her doing what you need her to do. Hulk, even though it didn't work out, I used her alter ego ability to look at the top card here to see what that icon was going to be. So that's a fun thing you can do in this deck as well. Now, even though I don't know what this top card is, let's have some fun and attack Viper for 3, 4, 5, 6, knocking her out. And then discard the top card of the deck. It is an energy, which is just a deal of damage to each character. So he takes 2 from the attack, one consequential, plus 1 consequential for enraged, and then he deals 1 damage to every character. That's not what I want to look at. Each character, including the villain. So I knock off my tough. He takes another damage. She takes the damage. And he takes 1 more damage. All right, that's the game. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything in this game. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a marvelous day.